Hello, I'm Elizabeth Webb, your yoga lifestyle coach, and welcome to my place. And today we are in balance. Nature, of course, helps us to come into balance. And when we think about wanting to be in balance, there's so many different peace, love, and harmony. How do we find that peace, that love, everything that's around us is in harmony? And how do we attune ourselves to that? Maybe we don't even have to. But in today's episode, I'm going to hopefully guide you through different things that can be helpful to raise our energy. And when we think about increasing our energy, we can do something as simple as a few Qigong movements. Qi, Gong. Qi meaning energy, Gong meaning movement. And there's, not that I want this episode to be on Qigong or Tai Chi, but that's one of my daily practices, like the simple cloud hands. When we think about cloud hands, we're just moving or don't kill a mosquito, but oh well. Moving our hands back and forth and just clearing our energy, doing some simple Qigong, or actually going through maybe a whole Tai Chi sequence where we're just maybe moving through a routine of doing some, movement, anything to get the body to move. And this is just a simple little movement that I enjoy, that I feel it just helps me be in balance. So whether you're doing Qigong, an actual Tai Chi set, yoga, which of course, as your yoga lifestyle coach, we'll be talking about doing some yoga today. So why don't you join me in another section of my yard? All right, so I've got other individuals that come to my place, and I just love doing yoga poses wherever I am, taking advantage of doing the boat pose on my back door porch. Nice solid rock. And the boat pose is something that you can also do with a partner. So let's take a look at one of my previous episodes where I'm doing the boat pose with my friend Hector.
Now you bring your feet in whilst keeping contact with your partner.
Lift up your chest.
Always open up your heart. You're going to start raising one foot, which would be the left one, and then the right one. And as you lock out, you put pressure on your heels. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, open up. Nice, and there you go. Beautiful. Well done.
There. And if you know the boat pose, here it is again, a little bit more dramatic with the help of your partner. And now welcome to my front yard. And when we think about balance, and sometimes we think about balancing in various yoga poses, standing on one leg. And of course, yoga offers the ability to do yoga poses mindfully with the awareness of, like this Warrior 3 pose, or like the way I'm doing it, I like to call it jet airplane. So join me and see how your body does standing on one leg. And there's many different poses within yoga that we can do. Another pose is tree pose, where we want to really lengthen the body upward. We don't want to just collapse down and let the hip press out. I want to be nice and strong and grow like a nice, long, tall tree. And of course, anything that we're doing on one side of the body, think about doing that same pose and see how you do on the other side of the body. Growing nice and long and tall. And now welcome to this part of my yard in front of this beautiful scene. And you can probably maybe see, well, it's fall, so the sunflowers are kind of done. But another pose that is very good for balancing our body is the sunflower. And in the sunflower, it's so balancing because we're using our thigh muscles, pressing our hips backward. We're extending, stretching through the arms. And each time we inhale and come up, we're lifting the heart up, pressing the hips back. And this is a wonderful posture, yoga pose. Well, because it has lots of movement, and it keeps us aware of what is it like to be able to be active, but yet in one space. So I'm not moving my feet. I'm just aware of exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. Okay, farm life. You don't have to live on a farm to have a body, spirit, mind, environment that's in balance. No matter where you live, if you just take time to get on a yoga mat and do some various yoga postures, well, we don't have any cows on the farm. We've got cats. So let's do the cat-cow posture. That's a very balancing yoga posture. So as we think about this yoga pose, as we go back and forth, we want to coordinate this with our breath so that as we come into this Halloween-looking cat shape in our body, that's our exhale as we sway our back down like this, like a swayed back cow. That's the in-breath. And just back and forth. Balances the nervous system. We can think about our nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, bringing those both into balance. Sometimes we're overstimulated in the sympathetic nervous system, the one that takes over when we're stressed. But doing this simple pose can help us bring more calming effect into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest part of the nervous system. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you live, just take time out, even if it's just maybe a push-up against a tree, and think about doing whatever feels comfortable, whether you're leaning on a tree or maybe you're just in your yard, in your house, and maybe in the bathroom at the office. Just take time, even if it's just like a little side stretch, and bring the body into balance by doing whatever you're doing on the other side. And just be aware of noticing how it feels to be wherever you are. And no matter how you're doing a pose, maybe you're with a partner and you're able to actually do the bird pose with a partner. So let's take a look and let's watch my friend Hector and I as he encourages me to get up into the bird pose. So to begin acro yoga, stand a little bit away from your partner. See where okay, so I'm going to stand with your legs straight. I'm going to stand right here. And so in the steeple, we practiced in the partner yoga poses, we practice steeple. So bring me in. Let me feel that steeple position. So I'm pouring my weight into his hips. He's bringing me in a little bit more. And then you could stand me up. So we're going back and forth.
Every time it goes a little bit deeper. And what we do here is we are learning to trust one another as partners. And you're checking to make sure that your position is correct. You make no assumptions so that nobody gets hurt and we all have fun.
And see how Hector's bringing in the martial art element of protection?
This is a 4-point contact that can help anybody and make you very strong, even if you're on the floor. Does not take away from your capacity to protect and defend yourself, which we will explain later on some other future in more detail. But basically, I have the strength of my elbows and my knees together, which make it a lot stronger than if I was away from him.
Yeah, so if his arms are just up here, then that's not the martial.
It is not. And it's more difficult to keep control and balance. Okay.
All right, so now I'm coming in, doing a little bit of a push-up. He's pressing me back. So I'm getting used to using the abdominal muscles to be ready for flying.
And we typically do 3 times each movement so that we can make sure that we have the right adjustment.
And now I'm ready. I want to fly. So I'm taking my feet and bringing my feet to where his fingers were. And now from here, okay, now we're ready. So I'm close enough now for him to lift me.
I wait for my partner to give me the cue once I've dropped my hands.
And the cue is me pouring my weight again into my hips, into his feet. Okay.
And now she pours her weight into me, and I feel that, so I'm going to straighten out my legs, and now I'm going to put a little bit more pressure with my toes to give her balance. And when she's ready, she is slowly losing contact with my hands, letting me know that she's ready to fly. And there's the flyer. I keep my hands just in case, but I am the ground, and therefore I am grounding her and always keeping in contact.
And if I get weirded out for any reason, I can come right back.
That's why I don't move my hands from here. I'm waiting for her.
All right, and then always make sure, if you actually joined us, then always make sure that you stand and wait for your equilibrium to equalize itself. And when you feel balanced, then let your partner know that by releasing your hands from the feet. And will you fly me again?
Yes.
And now, let's turn this into a surrendering back bend for acro sage or reverse bird for acro yoga.
So we're walking through different levels of trust. Every time it gets more risky, if you will, or more trusting. She's adjusting, and I am practicing with my 4-point contact. She is shaking her head, giving me a cue that yes, I'm ready to go deeper. And now, once again, when I feel the pressure on my feet, I take over, and she is completely surrendering her trust to my ability. And as she's here, I am pulling towards my heels with my legs, and I'm pulling with my arms, giving her a back stretch, stretching out her whole spine. At this point, there's a lot of things that can be done. We can do some massage at the rhomboids. I can turn my hands and have a different point of contact, and also massage a little bit further down the back. I can work on the where the tricep connect with the lat, and eventually, in more advanced movement, you'll learn to balance your partner there. You can do a 1, and you can do a push-pull. As you can see, I am pushing and pulling with my legs, giving her a different sensation of trust. So I'm pulling and stretching her spine all the way through her sacral, and I'm pulling with my hands. And now she moves her hands, and that gives me a cue that she's coming back to where she started, right? So we pause here momentarily while she makes contact, and then I'm going to reposition my hands, slowly bring her down, and make sure that her feet are on the ground before I stand her up, giving her time so that the blood doesn't rush to her head, and I wait for her. When she's ready, she'll release, but I'm going to keep contact just in case. I don't want my partner to fall. Then I'm going to continue that contact all the way down to her toes. Because on the ground, I am making sure that she was flying, she is grounding herself, coming back to earth. And when she's ready, she will just step out.
Thank you for taking time out, for joining me at Smoke Ham Farm. Thank you for coming to my place virtually and watching this episode. And let's end this episode again with my friend Hector as we both go through alternate nostril breathing, because alternate nostril breathing is one of the best breaths to balance the left and the right brain hemispheres. So let's take a look.
So let's take our right hand, whether you're left-handed or not, we use our right hand, and 2 fingers up, 2 fingers down. Place your thumb on the outside of your right nostril. You can place 2 fingers on your third eye or just rest them down. Take a deep breath in through the left nostril only. Then hold your breath, close off both sides of the nose with the thumb and the 2 small fingers, and then release the thumb and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold your breath, and release the exhalation out the left side. And that finishes 1 full round and a wonderful practice.
It was. And it is a very good way to just balance everything and bring the breath of life into balance.
Yes. Namaste.